is when the elders are seated at the city gates, the young men jubilate.
The Inter-Religious Council of Uganda has released a strong and solemn appeal to the nation, urging leaders, institutions and citizens to safeguard as campaign tensions heighten. The message begins with a gratitude to civil servants, security officers, and community leaders who continue to maintain discipline and uphold the rule of law. Drawing from religious teachings, the Council reminds the country that true strength lies in self-control, especially for those entrusted with authority during this sensitive period.
We have also witnessed encouraging examples of discipline and restraint from many civil servants, security personnel, electoral officers, and community leaders who continue to uphold the law faithfully, even in a climate of heightened tension. For their integrity, we offer our sincere gratitude. Their conduct reminds us that peace is built not only by words, but by daily acts of responsibility.
The statement raises alarm over persistent reports of arbitrary arrests and prolonged detentions, especially of opposition activists. It cites cases from late 2024, including the high-profile detention of Dr. Kizza Besigye and his aide under military jurisdiction. Faith leaders are calling for strict adherence to due process and constitutional protections for all Ugandans.
Arbitrary arrests, prolonged detention without trial. Brothers and sisters, we are receiving troubling reports that weigh heavily on the conscience of our nation. Over recent months, many opposition members, supporters, and activists have been arrested on charges ranging from incitement and unlawful assembly to treason, with some reportedly held for extended periods without timely access to bail. Incidents such as the November 2024 detention under military jurisdiction of Dr. Kizza Besigye and his aide following their return from Kenya and others illustrates the scale of these concerns.
The Council also expresses concern over the harassment and disruption of campaign activities. They warn that restricted access to venues, the use of tear gas, and heavy military presence risk turning civic participation into a climate of fear.
Harassment, intimidation, and disruption of political campaigns. In many parts of the country, communities have raised concerns about the atmosphere surrounding campaign activities. Citizens report political gatherings being dispersed by security personnel, restricted access to campaign venues, and the use of tear gas during tense moments. Additionally, several candidates describe difficulties moving freely to meet their supporters, while diversions onto long routes have cost them valuable campaign time.
Faith leaders are demanding a firmer voice from the Electoral Commission, saying its silence in the face of campaign violence such as the recent Sanga incident undermines public trust.
To the Electoral Commission, continue your work with transparency and urgency so that no eligible Ugandan is left out of the voting process.
They also concerned about the increasing media restrictions and intimidation of journalists, warning that a democracy cannot function when the press is silenced.
Attacks on restrictions on mass media. A free and courageous press is one of the pillars that upholds democracy. Yet recent events show that many journalists are operating under fear. Some media houses have been banned from covering certain candidates. This is a violation of freedoms of speech and expression.
To parliamentary and mayoral candidates, the Council urges peaceful and respectful campaigns. And to every citizen, they issue a reminder your vote is both a constitutional right and a sacred responsibility.
Present your programs with clarity, honor, and sincerity. Avoid provocative and abusive language. Respect each other. Compete through ideas, integrity, and service, not through fear or hostility. To our fellow religious leaders in every pulpit, mosque, and temple,
to guide the nation, because the Bible says when the elders are seated at the city gates,